Charlemagne, we live? Alright, we live. Everybody, live stream is on. Dre all day. We are 5 minutes early. I don't do things late. We only do things early here. So if it ain't perfectly on time, it's always early. Early is on time. On time is late. And late is forgotten. So as y'all come into the stream, tell me your name and location. What's good? Kev, Wares, Kicks. Work on your fucking game. Absolutely. Rudolph, Mestrick. What's good? Tell me your name and location. Everybody, as y'all come into the stream, I'm going to talk about something that I just saw on social media real quick. Then we're going to get into the actual conversation that we're going to have here tonight. So as y'all come in, name and location. My name is Dre. I'm an Aquarius. I'm coming from the city of Philadelphia. I'm actually live from, this is Miami, Florida, right here behind me. 80 degrees today. It's beautiful. Rudolph from Croatia. Shout out to Croatia. Shout out to Pula. Shout out to Dubrovnik. Knoxville. Shout out to Knoxville. Kevin, Los Angeles. You won one of my old YouTube contests. Oh, that's what's up. That was way back. So shout out to everybody who's been following me on YouTube for like 10 years or more. What's good? ARB, my best student. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. You're the best student. I mean, everything I put out, you're going to be buying. Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, I know where Knoxville at. Shout out to Tennessee. Lucretia, I was just in Nashville, Tennessee. So shout out to Nashville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Memphis. Cloard, what's good? Tyree from Rochester, New York. My name is Dre Baldwin. For those who don't know me, I'm a former 9-year professional basketball player. I now teach this philosophy called Work on Your Game, which takes the pro athlete mindset and teaches how it applies to business, sports, life, whether that is personal branding, any sport you could possibly play, building your business, writing a book, interpersonal connections and relationships, all of that. Yeah, right down the street. Knoxville's right down the street from Nashville. I didn't know that, but now I know. Just seen on social media, I seen this dude, Andre Drummond, got traded from the Detroit Pistons to the Cavs, and he tweeted something about there being no loyalty in the business. I don't understand this shit with NBA players, man. NBA players started, doing whatever they wanted to do with their moves, and they called it player empowerment because the players did what they wanted. Now, when players get traded, now the thing is to go on social media and complain that the team's not being loyal to them. Like, listen, motherfucker, you signed a contract for like $150 million. Did every check go through? Did the wire hit every 2 weeks? Did any of those checks bounce? No. So I think the team was very loyal to you, and that every check you was supposed to get, you got. So what are you talking about loyalty? You still getting paid. They're not loyal to you because they traded you. Listen, the contract, you sign a contract so you can get the bag, so you can secure your financial future. You know you're gonna make this much money over this period of time, guaranteed. I ain't never heard of an NBA player's check bouncing, ever. But then players want to complain that there ain't no loyalty when they get traded. Listen, you signed a contract so that you could get all that money. The contract don't say you have to play for this team. The contract says you guaranteed this much money whether you perform or not. And Andre Drummond's teams don't really perform. When the last time Andre Drummond won a playoff game? What is he talking about? No loyalty. Like, you at least got to be like winning some playoff games to be pulling a loyalty card. Like, you can't be a dude on a team that don't win talking about loyalty. But anyway, that's a different conversation. So what I want to talk about here today is the long run. We're going to talk about the long run of life, which ain't about some shit that gets posted on social media because it goes away very quickly. Like, this live stream is going to go away, but I'm going to download this, put it on YouTube so it lasts forever. What I want y'all to understand is that even though the world that we live in right now, everything is very instant. That's why we got Instagram and we got Twitter, which is a 280 character quick. I guess they call it quick micro blogging. And you got YouTube. You put out a video today. Listen, I put out a video 6 months ago, and somebody says, Dre, can you make a video on XYZ? And I said, yeah, I did. I put it out 6 months ago. And they said, I know, but I want you to make a new one. So something happened 6 months ago is already old. Like, an album came out last year. The album is already old. People want something new. What's the other one? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You got everything getting posted on the feed. You post something this morning. By the end of the day, people done forgot what you even said. We got all this instantaneous access to stuff these days, and everybody's riding this wave of things being instant. And listen, I'm not immune to this. I'm doing a live stream right now on a platform called Instagram. That's the whole thing, is to be quick and be right on your toes so that you can get stuff out to people immediately, because this is what people want to consume. But at the same time, y'all need to understand this, is that while you're doing all this instant stuff and while you're doing all this immediacy that we have access to, you need to be playing the game. You got to be a hustler and you got to play the game. So if this is the wave that things need to be immediate and you got to do live streams and use social media and post and do things that people are responding to so that you can get attention. You got to play the game because that's what a hustler does. But at the same time, you got to be playing another game on the side that everybody ain't paying attention to. The other game that you're playing is you got to be creating something that's going to last for the long term. You see, I might be doing a live stream right now again on Instagram, but like I said, the messages that I create on these live streams, I download them, I put them on YouTube so they can last forever. Then I might put them in my membership site so members can have access to them when the regular people will either have forgotten about them or they can't find them or they don't bother to go looking for them, but I'm going to make it easy for the people in my membership to get to them. Or a content that I might talk about here in this video, a section of this might become a chapter in one of my books that's going to last forever. 20 years from now, somebody's going to read that book for the first time and it's going to be brand new to them because the content is evergreen. So you need to be thinking about, what are you creating? Here's the question that you need to think about. And I'm going to talk about this after I give you the question. What are you doing today? What are you creating today that's going to matter 5, 10, 20 years from now? What are you doing right now? What are you working on in your life right now that if you died tomorrow, it would still matter 2 years from now, 20 years from now to somebody who never met you, doesn't even know what you look like, but they come across your work and they're like, damn, I'm glad I found this because this is useful to me. If you really think about it, I mean, think about how many albums, music albums or books or, I don't know, blog posts, content. No, I can't really say blog posts and content because that's a relatively new thing. But you think about books, music, concepts. How many of those do we use and refer to on a day-to-day basis that are from somebody who's not even with us anymore? Somebody who's not even alive. They weren't even alive the whole time you've been alive, but we still use their material. And now there are several you could probably think of, but if you really think about the grand scheme of it, it's not that many. It's not that many people. How many people's books have you read who's a person that wasn't alive the whole time you've been alive? Meaning they died before you were born. How many? It ain't that many. You could probably count them on your hands, and maybe a few more or less, depending on how much of a reader that you are. Or music, the exact same thing. Maybe a few more or less, depending on how much music you listen to, but it's not a lot. A lot of the stuff that we consume is just stuff that matters for right now, and then it goes away. It matters for a year, maybe a few months, then it goes away and we move on to the next thing, then the next thing, then the next thing. And then the next hot person, then the next popular person over here, then the next popular people over here, then they go away. Listen, who was hot at this time last year in music, on social media, in pop culture? Who was the person that was hot that everybody was talking about February 2019? You probably can't even remember. You probably can't even name them because we forgot all about them because we moved on to whoever's hot now in February 2020. And guess what? In February 2021, you're going to forget about whoever the hot motherfuckers is right now. You're going to forget all about them by this time next year. And that the reason why is because so many of us as creators, we'll just call ourselves creators of whatever you're doing. We are only creating things that matter right now in the moment, but they're not going to matter in the future. They don't stand the test of time. And what that leads to is all of us having to create something else, then create something else, then create something else, then create something else, because the shit that we created yesterday doesn't even matter anymore 24 hours later. That's how cheap it is. Earlier today, I think it was in my DM. Somebody had left me a message and they said, Dre, how is it that you eat? Because I posted the picture. If you follow my story, you see I posted a picture of like the spinach that I eat, and I have some saltine crackers and some fruit and some water. And people be like, yo, how is that all you're eating? Like, you work out and you got muscles and you're an athlete. How can you just eat that and not go crazy and not be hungry? I mean, of course I eat meals. I don't eat breakfast anymore. I don't eat a breakfast meal. I had to take bananas before I work out, protein shake, and then I'm just eating fruit, spinach, like some crackers, and drinking water all morning. Then I eat lunch, then I eat dinner, and that's pretty much it. And I may have a little snack / meal in between those two, but that's pretty much it. And somebody asked me, how do you not go crazy eating that? And the thing is, I explained to them, something that y'all got to understand is that a lot of the food that we eat, and I'm just making this point to make my bigger point. A lot of the food that we eat, we develop a mental addiction to the food. A lot of times when you think you're hungry, you're not actually hungry. What actually is happening is your mind is telling you that you want something to eat, and then it sends a signal to your physical body that you register as hunger, and then you like, oh, I gotta go get something to eat, and then you go eat it. A lot of the food that we eat, we develop a mental addiction to it. You're not actually hungry, but then you're eating, and then eating more, and that's why America, for those of you who are Americans watching this, And even those of you who are not, you probably noticed America's the most obese country in the world, even though we're supposed to be the most advanced. We're supposed to have the most technology. We're supposed to be like the pioneers and doing all these things to advance mankind. But we got the most fat people, the most obese and out of shape, non-healthy people in the world, even though we're supposed to be more advanced than everybody else. How is that? The reason why is because we fall into this culture of whatever's new, just consume it. We're in this consumption culture. We're consuming shit over and over and over again because we're not coming across anything that's useful, anything that's a quote-unquote whole food. So to extend my analogy here, what I said to the person who sent me that DM was this. I told them what I just told you, but I also said to them, look, if you drink water and eat some vegetables and some fruit instead of reaching for some potato chips, and listen, I eat potato chips, and eating some candy, and I eat candy every now and then, or whatever kind of snack food, if you were to just take in some whole foods instead of the garbage food, you would get filled up, number one, you would eat less, number two, and you wouldn't be hungry again in 30 minutes, number three. And if you can be disciplined enough and stick to it for long enough, you're not going to have those like the munchies, the munchies you get. Any of y'all who smoke weed, you get the munchies, right? You want to eat some chips, then you want a cheesesteak, then you want a cheeseburger, then you want some soda, then you want to hit the blunt again, because you're taking in things that are empty calories. You know what empty calories are? Any of you who's a trainer or nutritionist, or you read anything about this, empty calories is like this. It's like if you were to eat a 5-ounce box of spinach, like what I eat every morning. And it would be, let's say, how many calories is that? Let's say it's 150 calories in that box of spinach. Or, instead of eating that spinach, you could grab a Snickers bar. You know what a Snickers bar is, right? Snickers bar, and I'm going to take questions and comments at the end. So if you got a question or comment, I will address it at the end. A Snickers bar has another 150 calories in it. Now, the Snickers bar got 150, the spinach has 150. They both got 150 calories. So if all you're doing is counting calories, those of y'all who do the, what do they call it, macros? I used to know a girl who used to always count her macros. Everything she ate, she had to put it in this little app, and it would tell her how many macros she had for the day, and she carrying around protein shakes in a jug of water and all that shit. So if you count your macros and all that, they're technically exactly the same. But we know that just because they are the exact same calories, they're not made the same. Right? Everything is not created equal. The Snickers bar, first of all, is going to fuck up your teeth. Second of all, it's putting a whole bunch of refined sugar and chemicals in your body, because y'all know the Snickers bar, the peanuts might be the only real food in that whole Snickers bar. Y'all know that, right? You know it's not real chocolate, right? Y'all know that? Or hopefully you know that. And I like Snickers bars too. I haven't had one in a while, but I understand that. The spinach is not going to, it may not necessarily satisfy you as much, because that's what Snickers says, right? Snickers satisfies. It may not satisfy you as much in a moment, but as a whole food, meaning it'll do better for your body in the long run. Second of all, it will fill up your stomach a little bit more, so you won't be as hungry. And actually, that's all you need to know. And it's not putting garbage in your body like the Snickers bar would be doing. And here's now that I gave you that whole analogy, hopefully y'all stay with me. When you create and when you consume, what you need to start looking for, you need to be more discerning about, is finding more whole foods in your consumption. In other words, instead of reading an Instagram caption from somebody who just came up with some shit that they wanted to say just so they could get some likes. Like, you know how a girl will post a long ass, some deep Instagram caption, but all she really want to do is just show you her ass and the new pants that she got. Listen, I respect the game, okay? I respect the hustle. I respect the game. But at the same time, that's like eating a candy bar. It's like eating a Snickers bar. Whereas instead, you could go to the motherfucking library or Amazon, take that same amount of time and energy, and go buy a book that costs you $8 by somebody. A book was written 50 years ago, but the material in that book will pay you back and last longer than the effects of looking at that girl's ass on IG. What you get out of that book will last a whole lot longer than whatever you get out of looking at that photo. But that's the whole food, is buying the book and sitting down and reading the book. It's a bigger investment. It takes a little bit more discipline. It's not as easy. It's not as instant. It's not as immediate. But the payback is a whole lot bigger. And what y'all got to understand, and this is something that I've talked about on my podcast, and if you're not subscribed to my podcast, it is called Work on Your Game. Go look it up on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, look up Work on Your Game. It comes out every day. So you already missed today's episode. Go listen to that. Listen to the day before, and the day before, and the day before that. There's already 1,400 episodes on there, so you got to catch up. The thing is this. The opportunity in life is always in the opposites. The opportunity is never Opportunity is never in doing what everybody else is already doing. The reason why the opportunity is never there is because, number one, if you find out about something just because it became popular and everybody's already doing it, that means you're already late to the party. What did I tell you at the beginning of this video? To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. And to be late is to be forgotten. You never want to be late to a party. All right, because you're going to be the last one to get into it. All the opportunities been taken off the table by the time you show up if you're late. Second of all, even if you get there at the same time as everybody else, you're doing something that everybody else is doing, you got there at the same time. So you're not late. You're quote unquote on time, and on time is late. Here's the thing. You're in competition with everybody else in the world. Now, I'm not going to tell you how talented you are or how talented you're not, but I'm willing to bet. If I had to bet money, I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I would bet good money that you are probably not more talented than the whole rest of the world put together at any one thing. So even though you may be very good, you may be very focused, you may be very motivated, you know, you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, I get it. But listen, you are not going to be more talented than everybody else in the world. All right, you got to figure out where is the opportunity. And if you want to find out where opportunity is in life, I'm going to tell you a very simple way to do it. All right, you ain't got to be smart to do this. All you got to be is disciplined. All you need to do is go look and find what everybody else is doing, quote unquote everybody else. Go see what everybody's doing and then do the opposite. I'll say it one more time for the slow learners out there who didn't hear me the first time. If you want to get ahead of everybody else out there, or in your field or your industry or in your neighborhood or in your career or at your school, whatever you're doing, go find what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. That's where the opportunity's at. So, for example, when you see these days everybody's doing the instant thing, right? Instagram, tweets, Facebook posts, social medias. Everybody got to put out content every single day because the content they put out yesterday was so garbage. It was only good for 30 seconds and then you forgot about it. Now they got to put out something else. You go put out something that's going to last. So even if you put out content every day like I do, make sure you're putting out something every day that's still going to matter a year from now. Like if somebody comes across this video right now, and I put this on YouTube, somebody's going to come across this video 3 years from now. They didn't know about me today. They're going to know about me 3 years from now. They're going to see this video. They're going to be like, yo, this is some good shit. Because when I create my content, I create something that's going to matter no matter when you come across it. It's not only good for right now in the moment, not just for today. I'm not just talking about the meme or what rapper was this and the other rapper or some bullshit that will spike. It's kind of like, and the metaphor is perfect. And I came up with this metaphor off the top of my head, like I talked about yesterday. If any of you study nutrition or the foods that you eat, you know how it goes, right? If you eat some candy, what happens to your blood sugar? When you eat candy, your blood sugar spikes, right? So if you eat some candy right before you work out, or you're tired and you just need to pick me up real quick, you grab a candy bar, you eat some Skittles, or whatever kind of candy you like, what happens? Your blood sugar goes up, your energy spikes up really quick. So you get this rush of energy. You like, yo, I'm good. Or you take a 5-hour energy, or what's the other ones they got? What's the other one that be having all the girls taking pictures on IG? Bang Energy. Yeah, shout out to Bang Energy. So you take a Bang Energy drink. I never had one of those. I don't fuck with energy drinks. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all be on IG, you know what I'm talking about. So boom, you take one of those, your blood sugar spikes, you go all the way up here, right? But what happens after about 30 minutes? After you take that energy drink, or you take that candy? Boom. Oh, Monster too, yeah. Boom. You crash right back down to the ground. So you spiked. You was hot for like 30 days. You was hot for 30 minutes. You was hot for 6 months. You was hot for the time that you had that one song out there. You was hot for that one YouTube video. Boom. You was hot for that one Instagram post. Boom. Then you crash right back to the ground. Now you got to start back from zero all over again. But what if you did something different? What if you ate a good meal the night before? A good meal, like a good home cooked meal or meal delivery service meal. Shout out to Health Rush in South Florida. What if you had your girl or your guy or you, if you like to cook, make you a good meal? What if you didn't drink no alcohol or soda, you just drank some water, you ate some fruit, you got a good night's sleep, a full night of uninterrupted sleep, then you woke up the next day? Would you need an energy drink? Would you need to eat candy in the middle of the afternoon? Would you be dozing off at your desk at 2:30? Probably not. You'd be good throughout the day. Your energy would be steady throughout the day. Why is that? It's because you put some whole foods in your body. And again, I'm using whole foods as a metaphor, not necessarily the food that you eat, but the material that you're putting inside of yourself it lasts longer. It doesn't burn as hot. It doesn't go as high, but it stays at a steady pace the whole time. So instead of all this, you got this, steady, consistent, and it's working for you. So you can do your work, you can produce, and you're producing something that matters, something that's going to stand the test of time. This is the most important thing that I want y'all to get from what I'm talking about here today, is that not only as both a producer and a consumer, you want to be producing things. If those of you who make stuff, writing, audio, video, photos, status updates, whatever, put something out that if somebody came across it 5 years from today, it would still be relevant, it would still be useful, it would still be valuable. That if you came across it 5 years from today, you would be proud of it. And you'd be happy to show people like, oh yeah, I remember when I did that. I want people to see that still. That's how I want to feel about my content. So when I create a podcast episode or a video or I write a book, I'm looking at that like, all right, if I come across this book 5 years from now, am I gonna look at it and be like, damn, this shit was kind of trash. I don't want nobody to see this. I'm gonna act like this didn't happen. Or am I gonna create something where 5 years from now I'm gonna be like, yo, you didn't read that yet? You didn't see this video? You didn't listen to this audio? You need to go listen to this shit right now, because this shit is fire. You missed it when I put it out, but look, you can still get value from it right now. Create things that have value and that last. The reason why you need to do this is, first of all, it'll save you time, so you don't have to keep creating more garbage on top of garbage over time. Second of all, for posterity's sake, you will look better in the long run. Third of all, so when you look back on your own track record, you'll have some good stuff that speaks for you. Fourth of all, one day you're going to be dead and you can't create anymore. So whatever you created, that's all your name's going to represent. And if you didn't create anything useful, everything you created is going to be erased and forgotten and buried in the sand. And fifth reason is so that later on, when a person who never heard of you comes across you, they'll say, damn, you got all this great shit you created. I'm going to start going through everything you ever made because I love what you're doing. I love what you're about. I get people who come to me every day who say, Dre, I never heard of you before, but I just watched one of your videos, or I listened to one of your podcasts, or I read one of your blogs, I got one of your books, I came across one of your pieces of content, and I like what you're doing, I like what you're about. I'm about to go through all your old shit and see what else you got to offer. And I'm proud of that, because I know when they go through my old shit, they're going to find more and more value. So when you create something that's going to matter forever. Second thing, on the other side of things, as a consumer, those of you all of us are consumers. We all watch, Netflix. We all on IG. You all use social media. As a consumer, I'm not telling you not to take in the riffraff and the nonsense and the bullshit. We all get pulled into it every now and then. And listen, the whole media industry's job is to get you pulled into the bullshit. That's what they're supposed to do. But you must be disciplined and discerning enough to know, all right, I spent enough time looking at, this rapper, that rapper, and this person said this on a reality show. All right, you give a little 5 minutes to that. You did your 5 minutes of the bullshit. Okay, now turn that off. And now let's spend the next 55 minutes of this hour on something that's actually going to matter. What are you consuming that's actually making you better, making you smarter, making you more valuable in the long run? What are you consuming that's going to give you something that when you combine it with your own personal life experience, you'll be able to create something that will give value to other people? See, this is the way that it works. It's kind of like with animals. Like, any of y'all know, study anything about the environment, how the environment works. Let's take like a cow, for example. A cow eats the grass, right? There's grass on the ground. The cow eats the grass. Then the cow shits out the grass. And the shit that the cow poops out is fertilizer that does what? It grows more grass. And eventually that cow might get killed and get eaten. And some people like to eat meat, those of y'all who eat burgers. And that cycle just repeats itself, that grass-fed beef. And I'm not talking about the beef like at McDonald's beef. I'm talking about a cow that's grown on a real farm and gets to die, humanely, gets killed and slaughtered and gets eaten for beef. Now, I personally am vegan with an asterisk, so I'm not against anybody who eats meat, because I eat meat every now and then when I want to. But y'all understand the cycle. The cow eats the grass gets shitted out, grass grows back, we kill the cow, we get to eat the beef. It creates a whole cycle. And the sun is producing for the person, it's producing for the cow, it's producing for the grass, and then it rains, the cow gets to drink the water, we get to drink the water, the flowers get to grow, we get a nice garden, we kill the cow, we eat the grass. Everybody is supporting everybody else. That's the cycle of how it goes. But if somebody jumps into the cycle and they put some garbage out, it's not helping anybody. Let's say somebody comes in, throws some trash in the yard where the cow is supposed to be eating. Then the cow eats the trash, and then the cow dies. Okay, now the farmer can't make money off that cow. No more milk, no more meat. Now the cow is dead, so he can't eat the grass. Now we got to pay a little bit more money to get our hamburgers because there's one less cow out there for us to eat. Now the grass gets uncontrollably long. Now we got to pay for a lawnmower because the cow's not eating the grass. All because everybody gets fucked up. Everybody got to incur the cost of it. Why? Because one motherfucker put some garbage into the cycle. This is why you can't put garbage in the cycle. When you throw trash in the ocean, or you throw trash, if you live near water, like Biscayne Bay is right over here from where I live. When people throw trash in there, the fish eat the trash. Then the fish get into the food that you eat. Then you eat that fish that you got from some restaurant. Then you get sick. And then you're suing the restaurant because you got sick off their fish. But it wasn't really their fault. They just got the fish from where they always get the fish. It was just one motherfucker threw some trash in the water that fucked the whole cycle up. Now you're sick. Your body's fucked up. You had to go to the hospital. You couldn't go to work. The restaurant got to pay that bill. The restaurant looks bad. The news got to send people to go talk about it. The fish got all fucked up. The fishermen, they lose some money because now they look bad because they delivered the fish to that restaurant. All because one motherfucker threw some garbage into the cycle. This is why you got to be more cognizant of what you're putting out there. Are you putting out there things that are going to make people better? Or are you putting out things that are going to make people worse? Now, I don't claim any religion. I'm not in the 5% nation, but I know the 5%ers. Shout out to the 5%ers out there. Peace to them. I know they preach the whole philosophy of build or destroy. I talked about this on my podcast. I talked about it on videos going 10 years back. Every single thing you do, you are either building or destroying. You're making things better or you're making things worse. There is no neutral in the universe. So everything you do, every thought you have, every word you say, every interaction with another person, are you making it better or are you making it worse? If you don't know the answer, if you do something and you're not sure, I'm not sure if I made things better or worse, and that interaction right there and what I just said or what I just did, if you're not sure, the answer is you're making it worse. If you're making things better, you know you're making things better. If you're not sure, if you don't know, then the answer is no. I saw Tony Robbins speak last week, and he asked somebody in the crowd, somebody had stood up, he was doing like an intervention in the crowd, and he asked the guy a question. He asked the question, it was like a yes or no question, and the guy was like, he was like trying to decide whether to say yes or no, and Tony interrupted him, and he said, listen, if you don't know, then the answer is no. And there's a guy named Derek Sivers, this is the last name I'm gonna drop. He wrote a couple books. He wrote a book called Anything You Want. You should look that book up. It's called Anything You Want. His name is Derek Sivers, S-I-V-E-R-S. Read the book. It's a short book. You can read it in one sitting. And shout out to Derek Sivers, because I emailed him before and he wrote me back very graciously. But he has this concept called hell yes or no. Now, I don't know if he invented it, but he's the first person I heard say it. And it goes very simple. Next time somebody asks you if you want to do something, is a yes or no question. If your answer is not hell yes, like you're not excited to do it, then the answer is no. If the answer is maybe or all right or I'll be all right with that or yeah, I'll do it, that means no. Say no. Don't say I'll do it or maybe or all right, I'm all right with that. The answer is no. If it's not hell yes, it's no. This is the 80-20 principle, which will help you eliminate a whole lot of bullshit out of your life. But I'm giving you too much stuff right now. I'm giving you too many things. So I'm going to wrap it up on that note. Again, the point of what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to take questions right now. I'm going to go through the comments. What I'm talking about here is the long run of life. If you're going to produce something that matters in life, something that lasts and stands the test of time, your name will last even when you're gone. Kobe, while we still talk about Kobe, we will still talk about Kobe. I mean, it was just a week ago. We will still talk about Kobe for the next 20, 50 years because the things that he did will stand the test of time. They're not just going to be relevant for the next 3 weeks while everybody is remembering that he passed away or until the day after his funeral and we forget about him. People still going to be talking about him because the things that he did will stand the test of time. And there are a lot of people who pass away, we don't know them. We don't talk about them because they didn't create anything that's going to last. Your job, because you're alive right now, and your responsibility, because I'm telling you this right now, is to make sure you do that so that you don't have that problem when you're passed away. And if you don't have this book right here, there it is. Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. This book you can get for free. I'm shipping the physical book anywhere in the world. You see that? Hear that? Physical book anywhere in the world. How many pages is this book? 160 pages. For you. You see me right there on the back of the book? For you to take your self-discipline where it needs to be so you can also get the next thing that comes with discipline is called confidence. The next thing that comes with confidence is called mental toughness. So let me address, you can get that at mirrorofmotivation.com. I'm going to post that link. That's the link in my bio here on IG, mirrorofmotivation.com. So now I'm going to scroll through. I think we got a healthy number of comments here. I don't know what people were saying, but I'm going to address these right now. So if you got a question, go ahead and post it in the comments. I'm going to address it right now. Keep it short. Please keep it short. All right, that was a lot of talking, but that's why I do this every day, because I start to come up with content right off the top of my head, and that's why I do this every day. That's how I get better at it. I got better by doing what I'm still doing to this very day. ARB said DeRozan was kind of done dirty, though, not going to lie. No, he wasn't done dirty. He got traded. That's what happens when you're in the NBA. DeRozan got a contract for like 160. I ain't saying he's supposed to be happy because he got a contract because he got money, but what I'm saying is when you sign a contract, that's one of the parameters of the contract, is that we can trade your contract. That's part of the game. He knew that before he got traded. So I understand that he was kind of annoyed or pissed off or sad that he got traded, but it's part of the game to get traded. ProR said, Dre, that's not fair. Drummond made a life in Detroit. Again, when you sign a contract to play in the NBA, you know that part of the game is you might get traded. And understand something. Andre Drummond, the only reason they could trade him is because he has a contract. A contract that guarantees him X number of dollars. In exchange for that guarantee of money, he knows he could possibly be traded. If he didn't want to be traded, he could just say, I'm only signing a 1-year contract every year for my whole career. I'm not signing anything longer than that. And if you trade me, then I could just leave at the end of that season anywhere I'm at. He signed a 5-year contract. And this is the last year of his contract anyway, so he can go wherever he wants when it's over. And they traded him because they figured they wasn't going to be able to keep him. So they did what they wanted to do. And ProR said, that's not fair. Who told you life is supposed to be fair? Somebody gave you some bad advice. Life is not supposed to be fair. Business ain't supposed to be fair. The object in business is you want to get an unfair advantage. You want things to not be fair, but you want them to be working in your favor, not against you. All right, is it fair that LeBron signed 1-year contracts every year with the teams that he was on until this year? Is it fair to the team? The team could say no, but it doesn't matter. Because life ain't supposed to be fair. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, exactly. He's one of the people who created something that lasted. He's been gone for many years, but we still talk about his stuff. So you got to adjust your products to what's modern. Sometimes, not all the time. Think and Grow Rich, you didn't have to adjust that. So if you create something that is going to stand the test of time, you don't have to make any adjustments to it. It'll be relevant 100 years from now. It'll still matter. Justice says, I'm listening to Mirror Motivation right now. Just cop, great book. That's what's up. Shout out to everybody who got that Mirror Motivation. Oh, yeah, we offer you some bonuses. So Justice said he got the audio. You get the audio because we got bonuses that you can get right there on that page. Ice cream. So that's why people always want new products. Now, people always want new products because we condition and want new stuff. We're conditioned to this instant stuff. That's why Instagram is so popular, because we are conditioned to this. What do you think people was doing before Instagram came out? We were still living. We were still surviving. We were still getting by. We were still doing things. Now we just been conditioned to want this. If Instagram goes away, guess what? People will lose their need for Insta everything. This is just conditioning. You can change your conditioning anytime you want. Said Trade on Purpose says Asia doesn't do Supersize Me. Well, America doesn't either. After that documentary came out, Supersize Me, McDonald's stopped doing supersize extra value meals because they couldn't use that term anymore. He basically killed that term for them. GS says companies don't care about their consumers' health. They care about profiting from their unhealthy and addictive products. Well, not all companies. Some companies, that's correct, but not all companies. There are many companies out there who do care about their consumers. The thing is, the companies that care about their consumers' health, their products cost a little bit more money, and because the people who have been conditioned for the instant stuff, they want the cheap shit. So, for example, where people are, and this is a deeper conversation, and y'all can listen to Jordan Peterson's or read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, or listen to some of his videos. He talks about this, and many people have talked about this, but in communities where people don't have a lot of money, so they got to watch every dollar, they end up buying cheaper food because it's saving them money, but the cheaper food is actually killing them faster. So it's like this paradox. If you don't have any money, so you got to buy cheap food, or you think you got to buy cheap food, so then you buy food that kills you quicker, even though it's saving you money. But if you spent more money, you would have less money, but you would actually last longer, but then you ain't got no money. You're living longer, but you're broke. So that's the paradox of the way that people got to make decisions about the way that they live. But that's a whole deeper, much longer philosophical discussion that I'm not prepared to make today. Lucretia, I appreciate that. Yeah, Snickers says hungry while wait. Yes, that's marketing. And it's beautiful marketing because it worked. And we all know what a Snickers bar is, right? GSS, spinach has essential vitamins, minerals, and fulfilling fiber. Exactly, but you never seen that on a commercial, did you? You ever seen a commercial that says vitamins, minerals, and fulfilling fiber? Hell no. What do you see in a commercial? All right, get this cheeseburger, get this bacon burger, get this Snickers bar because you're not going anywhere for a while because it's more enticing. It gets our attention quicker and it's easier to consume. So you're absolutely right, 100% factually right, but this world that we live in now, let me tell y'all something, the facts don't matter as much as they used to. Facts do not matter. They used to matter a lot more, but they don't matter as much. S. Morhaime, what's good, my brother? Where you at, man? I hit you in the DM, hit me up. Sam, I met Sam out at Funnel Hacking Live last week in Nashville. He makes custom, if I remember it correctly, he said he makes custom membership platforms for people. So if you got a membership, anybody out there selling membership, people like Sam, they make a custom platform for you to deliver your membership to the people who are in it, to your customers. Trade on Purpose says, LOL, Pete's booties. Yeah, exactly. Listen, I respect the game. Trust me. I'm a heterosexual man. I respect the game. I appreciate the game. All right. I don't want that to go away, at least not yet. But I also know when it's time to look at those, and I know when it's time to pick up a book. You got to be disciplined to know when to stop scrolling through that feed and when you need to start reading a book. Because see, if you read enough of these, you're going to create enough success that all those peaches that you see on your Instagram feed, they will come find you. You don't have to go after them. Now I might talk about that tomorrow. Maui says, have you heard of the ISIS papers before, Dre? I think I've heard of them, but I have not read them. I don't know anything about them. Couldn't tell you nothing about them. AGO9 phobia, what's good? Agononia phobia? I don't know what that is. Morhaime says, who is this girl? I want to see her now. Oh, all you got to do is go to the Explore tab on Instagram. They all over the place. All you got to do, this is what you got to do, is you got to look at one girl's profile who be showing off the goods from the angles, and then Instagram knows that you looked at it, and then they just going to keep showing you more and more of them. That's the way it works. ARB says you got to make that diet program. Yeah, I don't know about that. What's good, K-Baller 21? AGO says, is Dre still in Miami? Yes, this is Miami, Florida, right here behind me. It's beautiful, ain't it? That's Miami, Florida. It's nice. It looks beautiful at night, right? With the lights all lit up. So yes, I am still in Miami. I ain't going nowhere. Shout out to Miami. Hopefully we don't go underwater. AGO says since 2005, that's what's up. Yeah, banging Monster energy drinks, that's another one. Sam, 2K God, what's good? Jeff Olden says, one of my bros wants to be a freelance writer. I kid you not, after 2 weeks of him starting, he got frustrated because he didn't get a check out of it. I refer him to your third day analogy. Absolutely. Refer him to the 365-day analogy, which means if he wants to be a freelance writer, he needs to start a blog or go on WordPress or Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere and write a new article every day. You're going to be a freelance. Actually, you need to write 2 articles every day. Write every single day. Do it. Spend a whole year writing every day, and if he still want to be a writer, then we'll see. We'll see where he's at after a year. But he got to do it for a year before you can say, no, it ain't working or whatever. Sam says, do you practice no fap or semen retention? If you don't know what that means, yeah, I know what it means. Do I practice it? Well, I don't. No fap I always been into. I'm into that all the time. But do I practice semen retention? Well, I got a girl, so technically no. ARB says, do you do cold showers? Not the whole shower, but I like to start my shower with like 30 seconds to a minute of cold water, and then I turn it on hot water. But not the whole shower, hell no. Sometimes the third day just feel impossible, swear it's talent sometimes. Well, it's supposed to feel impossible. That's the thing. That's what separates you from everybody else, is that it feels impossible, but you do it anyway. Trade on Purpose says black coffee is good, wakes you up, plus vitamins and minerals and lots of other health benefits. I'll take your word for it. I don't drink coffee. Ago says, I watched a video about meditation and sleep by Kobe. Yeah, I think I saw that in my YouTube feed, but I didn't watch it, but I'm sure he was saying the same things that I've said. Sam says, do you know how to cook? If you don't, work on your game, get in the kitchen, Dre. Come on, stop lacking. No, I don't know how to cook, but that's a whole different topic I could talk about, is that you don't need to be good at everything. You got to decide where you're good and then outsource everything else. So there are people who are good at cooking, who like cooking. I don't like cooking and I'm not good at it and I don't want to invest time, so I'll go pay somebody else to do it. That's what you got to do. All the stuff that I put out, I don't do 100% of that. I do the creation, but I let people do the editing and the publishing and the posting. I don't need to do all that. So you got to focus on what you're good at, and then you outsource all the other things. Jeff says, I know putting out free content can get you more business down the road, but where's the line between putting out too much free content? No such thing as too much free content, Jeff. No such thing. The thing is, and it's good that you asked that question, because playing a long game means this. As I heard somebody talking about this, I was listening to a sales podcast today, or it might have been yesterday, and the guy said, look, a lot of people do advertising, right? Y'all see ads all the time online, and the ad is click on this, you go to a page, and then they try to sell you something, right? The thing is, that's the short game. You think somebody's going to click on your ad who's never heard of you before, and that they're going to pull out their credit card and buy something from you on the spot. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. But here's what you can do. I'm giving y'all some free game right here, all you business people. You create an ad, and instead of sending them to a page where they got to buy something, send them to a page where you give them something for free, such as your article, such as a free download, such as your free book, or a free audio, or a free lesson, or video that you're going to teach them something. Don't charge them anything. Just give them something free off your ad. So you paid to give somebody something for free. Now, how the hell is that going to work? Somebody's like, well, how is that sustainable, Dre? How you going to pay money to give away something for free? You're going to go broke. No, this is what you do. You give away that thing for free. That person, they'll give you something like an email address, which costs them no money. They'll give you their email. You get them the free thing. Now they're in your tribe. Now they're in your web, right? You got their email address. Now, through your emails, you can start building a relationship. You can send your articles every day, your videos, and your new free stuff that you're creating on a consistent basis. Now they get to know you. Now they're taking in your stuff. Now they're seeing all this stuff that you're giving them that is valuable, not some bullshit, stuff that's going to last, some valuable shit. Then when it's time for you to sell something, now you got a relationship with that person. It's kind of like if you meet a girl at the bar and you ask her to marry you right on the spot, she's probably going to say no. Even if she likes you, she ain't going to marry you. She might give you her number, but she ain't going to marry you. But if you get her number, then you go on a date, then you go on another date, then you go on another date, then you buy her some flowers, then you spend some time with her, and then over time you keep doing stuff. After 2 years, then maybe you could say, yo, will you marry me? And she might say yes, because you built a relationship. So a lot of people think that putting out free content is a waste. No, it's never a waste. Putting out free content is what you do to build a relationship or strengthen a relationship between you and your audience. That's the purpose of putting out free content. That's the purpose of me doing this live stream right here. So when I do put out something that costs money, because I do have things that cost money, when I put those things out, you who watch these streams all the time, you're like, all right, I know that dude. I know what he's about. He's giving out all this value. I know he's good. So you know what? I'm going to buy that. But if you didn't know who I was, would you buy something from me the first day? Probably not. That's the way that it works. This is the long game. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So Jeff, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. Sam said, facts, I'll be going through all your old vids. Exactly. That's the point. Ago said, I'm going to watch everything. So we talking about cow shit now? Yeah. I got to give you the analogies. Since Dre even smarter than my science teachers. I probably am, because the problem for your science teacher is all they do is teach science all day. I teach the science, I've been teaching science for a long time. GSO said, who said teachers are smart? Some teachers are smart. But there's some people who are teachers that are smart. Some students are smart. And then some people are dumb. I mean, there are different types of people everywhere. Sam says, the one guy that go through the garbage, one less viewer on his live because of that person. The name of that book, I don't even know what book you was talking about. The book, it was Anything You Want by Derek Sivers. The book is called Anything You Want. Author's name is Derek Sivers, Sivers. Just look it up. It'll be easy to find. Said, when I'm old, I'm going to be like, remember that guy, Dre Baldwin. That's right. Everybody's going to remember. ARB said, I didn't get the physical mirror motivation. Well, get the physical. Why not? Justice says, talk about your weight program. I don't have a weight program. Well, I got a strength training program. That's at hoophandbook.com. If you just go there, you could get it. Miss Trina 911, what's good? I appreciate that. Jeff said, what's the line between putting out? Oh, yeah, so I just told you what that is. Ricardo from Cherry Hill. Shout out to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. Damien said, just here to say what's up. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. Ming 2 millions. That's right. Mirrormotivation.com. That's where I can get this book, The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Shout out to Ming 2 millions. I believe that's the dude that I met in Nashville, Funnel Hacking Live. Shout out to Ming. 20 years old. Came to Funnel Hacking Live, invested in himself. Y'all got to be doing that. Trade on purposes. Morgan Freeman said, don't chase women. Work on your best self and they'll end up chasing you. Exactly. A lot of wise men have said that. Y'all ain't got to chase the women on Instagram. Listen, I ain't mad at you for looking at them because you're a man. If you're a heterosexual man, you're going to look. But invest most of your time in building up you. You build yourself up right, listen, they going to be on Instagram coming to you. You ain't got to go to Instagram going to them. Deep 15, what's good? ARB says, Dre cooks food in the microwave. No, I don't use a microwave. I use a, what do we call that? Toaster oven. Microwave puts radiation in your food. Be careful of microwaves. True, I got introduced to Dre, former free book, buy a game, and it led me to me buying his product. Yeah, I still got that book, buy a game. It's still free. If you go to workonmygame.com/buy a game, I was actually just working on that sales funnel today. So you'll see more of that soon. Jeff says, do you think an email list is the best way to build a long-term customers compared to, say, social media? Emails are probably more personal. Hell yes, email is better than social media. And I'll answer this very quickly. Why? Because you don't own Instagram. Like, I'm on Instagram right now, but if Instagram kicked me off tomorrow, all of my followers and everything is gone. All of it's gone just like that. I don't get to download nothing. I don't get to save nobody's information. It's all gone. But my email list, I own that. You don't own your followers on Instagram. You don't own your followers you don't own your Facebook group. You don't own your Twitter followers. You don't own your YouTube subscribers. You don't own none of that. And you don't have direct contact to any of them. Think about it. For me to talk to y'all on Instagram, what I got to do? I got to get on Instagram. I got to go through Instagram as the middleman. Instagram is the middleman. They own access to all of my audience on Instagram. Facebook. I got 30,000 likes on Facebook. But I got to go through Facebook to talk to those 30,000 people. And I got to pay them to get everybody to see my shit. YouTube. I got 100,000 some subscribers on YouTube. To talk to them, I got to go through YouTube. But if I want to talk to people on my email list, I ain't got to go through nobody. That's the difference. That's ownership. I talked about that on a live stream like a couple months ago. So go look up on YouTube. I talked about ownership. Just look up Dre Baldwin ownership. I talked about that. So absolutely, email list is way more important than social media. So use social media and then get people to go to your email list. You notice when you go get this book for free, what's the first thing I ask you for on that page? Your email. That's so just in case I can't connect with you through this, I can connect with you direct. All right, that's not a secret. Everybody does it. You go anywhere where somebody's giving you something, they're going to ask you for your email address because they know that's how they connect with you directly. Yes, anything you want, Derek Sivers. His name is D-E-R-E-K, but if you spell it that way, you'll find him. Same guy. Oh, Maui been using the jump manual. That's what's up. Shout out to Jacob, jump manual. Got the digital version because I ain't paying the shipping. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Sorry about the duplicate questions earlier. My connection was shit. Oh, that's what's up. It's all good. Clippers or Bucks or Lakers or Heat, who's taking the chip? I don't know. We can't talk about that just yet. It's too early. All right, I've been talking for like 45 minutes. This is a wrap, y'all. I am going to put this stream on YouTube. It'll probably be a couple weeks before it comes up. But if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Just look me up. You can subscribe if you want to ever watch this again. Mirror Motivation, self-guided, self-discipline. It's at mirrormotivation.com. I got a whole bunch of free shit y'all can get. If you go to workonmygame.com, I'm going to be putting more of my free shit up very soon. It's actually already up, but I haven't made it prominent enough. I don't think everybody knows about all this stuff. But I got a lot of free stuff y'all can get. I got a lot of stuff to buy, but I got a lot of stuff for free too. I got everything. So I want to make sure anything involving the mental game, anything that goes under the umbrella of the work on your game philosophy, I got free shit. I got low cost stuff and I got high cost stuff. I got the whole range from 0 to 10,000. I got something if it has to do with the work on your game philosophy. That's what I do. So if you want to know what I do all day, all I'm doing is creating more stuff to make sure anything related to work on your game, I made something that answers your questions, solves your challenges, addresses your issues before you even know they're an issue. I address it. I'm reading your mind. That's the way it works. Everybody, listen. DD Dreamball was good. Would I consider moving back to Philadelphia? Yeah, I just considered it just now. The answer is no. I'm staying in Miami because the weather's nicer. Everybody, have a great night. I'm going to do this again tomorrow. Work on your game. Dre all day.